Hello traders, welcome to another weekly forecast. Today is Sunday, the 25th of September 2022, and it's currently 7:35 a.m. and I decided to do my weekly forecast a bit early today. So I'm gonna start with the dollar index. Dollar index is really bullish, and as I mentioned in my daily bias video, stop trying to call the top. So I'm looking for targets on the upside now because it's so bullish, right? I have monthly levels over here, so this one is a monthly level. I've also measured the movement down projected to the upside, and I'm looking for 2%. The extension from here to there projected to the upside 2%. And also I have, let's go to the monthly chart. I have this level here, which is the last up candle prior to its move down. This one is higher than that one, so that's why I'm using this. So that's the last up candle prior to the move down, and this is the down candle, the last down candle prior to the move up and then move down. So mitigation, because it couldn't take out the high, and then auto block. So based on the daily, that's what I'm expecting price to reach for. Now, because we are very high, maybe price might want to retrace. If it does retrace, we'll be looking at this breaker here. Okay, if it does retrace, ideally I don't want it to trade through this down candle, but anything is possible. They might trade through it and then come back and mitigate this last up candle. If you turn it into a line chart, it give you that very high there. If they want to retrace, that's the level I will anticipate price rejecting to continue going up. Okay, now if this pair decides to reverse, or this currency decides to reverse, eventually I'm going to be wrong, and that's fine, but I'm gonna stick with the continuation to the upside. Euro, same thing. We've actually gone through that. The next downside objective is here, and then the fib extension 2% is here. Okay, so again, stop trying to call the low and continue selling. You can use the daily bias video to help you continue having a bias on a daily basis. And also based on the daily bias this week, I'll continue with euro, so you will get your bias for another week. So this week you will still get me to show you what should potentially happen the next day, but I'll look for continuation to the downside, obviously looking for the fib projection 2%. British pound, this pair is extremely weak, and what I've done is I actually projected this whole move to the upside. And that will give you the extension 127. I think that's where we're gonna get a reaction off from. So the idea is keep selling until it gets here, and then obviously wait and see what price is gonna do, because currently we are trading almost near a run below this low, and since price most of the time likes to trade in ranges, maybe it might not take out this low entirely. I'm not ruling out that it can take it, but there's a fib extension level. You want to respect that and still keep bearish bias. Okay, so you want to see how price is going to react here with a continuation to the downside. So the reaction is just going to give you maybe a heads up that price might pull back and then you sell again. Okay, so I'm not saying it's going to reverse here. It's just a level that I'll not sell once we hit it until I see what will happen over there. But prior to that, you can sell. Okay, so dropping down to the daily. This one is extremely weak. So when market open, be patient. Maybe wait till end of Monday and then look for a trade on Tuesday, or drop down to the lower time frame and then use either this or that. I think this one should stop price from going up and then continue going lower. But since you're going into a new week, we don't know what's going to happen. So I would suggest sit on your hands on Monday and then wait till Tuesday. But you're free to do what you want to do. I will definitely not be doing anything on Monday. So I'll wait till Tuesday before I actually do anything. Okay. New Zealand dollar. We should get continuation to the downside. We've closed in this imbalance in here. So I'll expect price to continue going down. And that will be the low that I'm anticipating price to break. And if we also measure this, our 2% is here. So that's a level to watch for a potential bounce, but we're gonna still remain bearish. Okay, so if it bounces off here, the idea is where can it retrace to for you to find another entry to continue going lower. Aussie. Let's go to the weekly time frame and project that to the downside. I'm watching that level, but let's see our projections. So projection is bringing us to 0.640. That's a good level to watch this week for continuation. And when the week starts, right, I like the fact that we have an up candle here, right? So I would want maybe a move back to the candle's low and then a continuation to the downside. So 0.6412 is your downside objective, and then the gap on the weekly that you saw me put out, that is also going to be a target, right? So we're gonna still remain bearish until I see something different. I'm still gonna remain bearish, and the next draw is 0.6412. Obviously during the week something can come in and change that, but as long as this big candle dropping, I'm expecting lower prices. Gold. So gold, my next downside objective is 1629.92. Is a mitigation level. We've gone through that. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Based on the weekly time frame, you can see it's a close of a gap, right? So we will see how price is going to react in there, but again, stick with the trend, right? The trend is currently in a bearish mood. Any rally is subject to sell. the daily time frame, we've just put in a swing high in here, so we want to continue going down. So Monday, if I go to the lower time frame, if I see price retrace back to this old low here, that's the lowest low, either this one or that, right? Relative to time, I'll look for a sell. So time of the day will be a factor as well, and then I'll look for a sell to target 16.29. On crude oil, same thing. I'm expecting a continuation to the downside. I have an eye for these like triple lows over here, right? We have this low, that low, and that low. It looks too clean in my opinion, so I'm gonna remain bearish. Last week was fantastic. I had I had awesome time with oil. Now oil is one of the pairs that I predominantly trade, because I understand it very well. Okay, so I do love trading oil, so I'm gonna continue selling oil. It did show some signs of retracement on the H4 over here, but if it does, I'm looking at this low to act as resistance and then continue going lower. In terms of targeting, obviously 127 is acting as a kind of a rejection, as I mentioned, but we're gonna continue selling and looking for these downside objectives. On the daily, these levels are all imbalances, so I'm expecting price to go and rebalance those gaps and still remain bearish. All right, euro yen, my next downside objective is here, this imbalance and this lows and somewhere down here. So one at a time, here, here, and then there. So when the week starts, I like this balance price range in here. We had price move up, price move down. Anything coming back up in here will be subject to sell, but we are going into a new week, so I would wait till Tuesday. Now what can eventually happen is they might trade down here, go up, and then back down again. So be aware of it and don't trade on Monday. Preferably, if you want to trade on Monday, make sure that you're aware of this imbalance, because it can cause price to retrace before the expansion to the downside. GJ, we have traded into a high time frame level. This is a monthly low. Okay, we also have a gap with a breaker, so that level might cause price to react, and if it does, I'm looking at this and that. Those are the last two decent resistance level for price to retrace to. So this one here and that one there. So I'll be watching how price is gonna react at those levels relative to time, and then I'll use those levels to obviously give me a trade idea. Doesn't mean it trades up there and I'm gonna sell. I'll have to wait to I see what I see, then I'll kind of take advantage of that level. In terms of downside, since we have such a big range, right, most of the time when we have these kind of big ranges, it will move into a consolidation. Okay, so I will expect this to either consolidate in here or a retracement, because we've just gone below a high time frame low into an imbalance. So there's a high probability that price will either consolidate or retrace. If it expands down again, then we are really bearish, and I'll go for all these lows here. Okay, but we are going into a new week, so everything is possible. I'll wait till maybe New York session, right, on Monday, and then I'll watch price. But London, I'll just not even look at the charts. Okay, avoid looking at the charts on Monday, London session. Let the market give you some information before you go in looking to do anything. You're Aussie. I still have a feeling that price is gonna come back up here before we resume going lower. So I have these two levels, right? This is basically what I'm targeting for this week. And then I'll look up here to see if we can get a rejection to come back down again. Pound Aussie, I'm sorry, Euro Pound, that level right there. I think last week, if you go back and watch my analysis, I mentioned that price is here. If we go through this weekly imbalance, then it's gonna trade to that daily. Okay, and that's where we currently at. So that's a level to watch. Now, because of such an aggressive move on Friday, most of the time that is the that's the end of a move. Why? Because we've had a nice market maker buy model going up with 3 areas of accumulation. Hence, this aggressive move might be, the straw that breaks the camel's back, and we might get some form of a pullback, not a reversal, a pullback. So I'll be watching this here to see what price will do in there. If I see price dip into it, and on the lower time frame I see what I need to see, I'll start taking advantage of that, preferably Tuesday or London New York session. Okay, all right, let's go to let's bring this one over here. This is my seasonal trades. I'm looking for a continuation to the upside on Euro New Zealand this week. This is the pair maybe I might trade on Monday, depending on if I see a pullback. I like this OT here. It's just that we went into Friday close, so Monday anything is possible. But if this was to be a Wednesday, then this would have been a nice trade to be in to go up there. We have a nice equal high over here. So coming into this week, I'm looking for price to trade up. Anything going down, I'll anticipate a stop rate. EuroCAD, same thing over here. I'm expecting price to trade up into these lows. Based on what I'm seeing right now, is either we're gonna open and attack this low here, and then price will go back up, or we open, price will attack this particular low here, and then reject and go higher. So I'm gonna give it till end of Monday for me to know what to do. So it's either we go down here, which it's what I'm personally anticipating, right? But if they do take out the low on Friday and reject, I'll look to sell it. So I'll look to buy it to go up and then back down again. But I would rather it goes down so that we get a reversal to come and attack these equal highs here and then trade into that. if we close aggressively below this low, that's it. We're going to resume going lower, and I'll look for pullback to come and attack this low. All right. Cardian, I think the next downside objective is down here, and then down here. Seasonally, there will be a buy idea in October, so I will expect a low to form in October for us to go up. For now, I'm bearish, looking for continuation to attack this low and that low, and then probably dip into this before a seasonal low is formed. Aussie, same thing, continuation to the downside. I like this equal low. Last week, go back and watch why I said I didn't want to see price go higher, and this will be it. Price should continue going down. We have nice equal lows in here, and also an imbalance down here. So expect price to continue going down to attack this low and there. And J, we're just there, so I'll expect them to take that. Probably take this one as well, because I have a bearish bias on the New Zealand and a bullish bias, not bullish but kind of consolidation bias on the Japanese yen. So that can cause this pair to obviously continue going down. You use the the daily bias idea. Right? If it keeps closing bearish, keep selling until you get stopped out at some point. And then pound Aussie, let's go to the monthly, because I didn't do any analysis on this. As a matter of fact, I think we do have equal lows in here. This is another block, so I'll respect that and look at how price is gonna trade on the opening price. Okay, there is a break over there as well, so I'll see how price is gonna react. Let's change it into a line chart, and yeah, we'll see how price is gonna react over there. Right, I didn't do any analysis on this, so that's it. And for the indices, we will see how Monday is going to trade, because they've actually attacked a monthly low over here, and the weekly actually rejected. Oh, my bad. Right. The weekly is rejecting. It didn't close aggressive, right? This to me is looking like a rejection already, but I'll see how Monday is gonna trade. In terms of buyers, stick with the bearishness until you see some form of a change. So that change will come in either by closing above this or a run below this low on Monday and price rejecting. If you see that, couple that with the monthly low, it might start some form of a retracement. And obviously you're going to apply the same thing for all the indices. So that's pretty much it. It's a long one because it's early morning, and I decided to do the forecast today. If you have any questions, feel free to send it to me in my DM or in the comment section. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.